Michael Jordan is a short Asian man who plays football. How do I know? I just know. So my kids are getting older, and one of my boys is really getting into sports. He played soccer for years, and now he's really getting into basketball. Well, the other day I was trying to explain to my boys the importance of reading the Bible. Now you might be wondering, what the heck does this have to do with anything? Well, stick with me. So I put it to them this way. Let's just say that you talk to somebody and they say, hey, you like sports? Michael Jordan is the best sports player who ever lived. And let's say they don't explain anything about him. That's all they give you, right? So over time, you kind of make up in your mind, I think Michael Jordan is probably an Asian man who's short and he plays football. So you believe this your whole life, and then you meet him one day and you go, wait a minute, you're nothing like I expected you to be. So have you ever heard anybody say, I think God is like this, and I think God is like that? Well, just because you think God is a certain way doesn't mean he's like that. So how do you know how God really is? Well, you read his book. Okay, you may be saying, how do you know that the Bible is really the book about God? Well, there's two things I want to point out. The second one is really the most important, but I want to point out both of them. Number one, there is so much historical evidence that they have found that the Bible is a real book, that these people really existed, and that Jesus existed. So your question might be, okay, so how do you know that Jesus really is the Son of God? Well, this is my second point. The Bible says that God cannot lie. It says that it's impossible to please him without faith, and it says, if you seek me with all your heart, you will find me. And there's a lot more, but this is just a few points. So I personally took him at his word. I said, okay, you can't lie, and if I seek you with all my heart in faith, I will find you. So I started reading the word. I started praying. I started fasting, and I started expecting God to show up, period. And guess what? It's been over 20 years. I'm still reading that book. God is blowing my mind every time I turn around. I've had so many experiences with God, and I don't care what anybody says because now I know who he is. So if you really want to know if God's real, it takes seeking him. It takes reading the book, not just taking other people's words for it, not just making it up in your own mind. So who is Michael Jordan really? Well, he's a very tall black man who's very handsome and plays basketball. I would hope that when I'm older, I'll look as good as he does, but probably not. That's okay. I can still dream.